Hey guys, welcome back to Top Demand. Today, we're doing another video in the line of guys projected as stars and chosen #1 overall in their respective sports who, for whatever reason, didn't complete the transition from prospect to superstar. Today, we're going to be covering the top 10 worst first overall picks in the NHL. Starting off the list at number 10 is Rick PAGNUTTI in 1967 by the Los Angeles Kings. They picked him because he scored 80 points in 39 games as a junior 20-year-old in 66 and 67. PAGNUTTI had started in the AHL after being drafted and could never crack the NHL. In fact, he never played a single game in the NHL and would only play 396 games over 6 AHL seasons. Number 9, Erik Johnson, 2006, St. Louis Blues. Johnson was big, strong, talented, and he had a touch of offense, which led him to become the first overall pick. However, he did not live up to the hype of a first overall. He did later become a solid top 4 defenseman, being a key component for the Colorado Avalanche. Number 8, Doug Wickenheiser of the 1980 Montreal Canadiens. Wickenheiser put up video game numbers in the 79-80 season when he put up 89 goals and 170 points in 71 games. He was named Player of the Year in the Canadian Junior Hockey and led the Pats to the berth in the Memorial Cup. Wickenheiser registered 115 points in 202 games for the Canadiens across 3+ seasons before being traded. He finished with 111 goals in 556 NHL games. Number 7, Greg Joly, 1974 Washington Capitals. Being an expansion team, it's no doubt that they would take the Regina Pats Memorial Cup Championship MVP. As the Capitals were pretty bad, he was no help. He spent just 98 games over 2 seasons with Washington before being shipped to Detroit. He then played parts of 7 seasons while splitting time in the AHL, and 365 NHL games later, he was out. Number 6, Gord KLUZAK from 1982 Boston Bruins. KLUZAK was a 6'4", 220-pound defenseman who had produced 71 points across 106 games for Billings of the WHL, drawing the attention of Harry Sinden, the GM of the Boston Bruins. Due to injuries, KLUZAK wound up playing just 299 games across 7 seasons with the Bruins. Missing 2 entire seasons, he only ended up playing under 15 games across his final 3 seasons before retiring. Number 5, Brian LAWTON, 1983 Minnesota North Stars. The 18-year-old LAWTON made hockey history as the first U.S.-born player to be drafted first overall and the only #1 pick to be selected out of an American high school. LAWTON then had a disappointing 5 years, which led him to get shipped off, put to the AHL, then jumped around an additional 4 NHL teams before being out of the league for good. Coming in at number 4, the 1999 Atlanta Thrashers draft PATRIK STEFAN. STEFAN was a 19-year-old Czech center with a significant international experience as well as a 58-game stint with the highly regarded IHL, where he was an all-star. The expansion Thrashers chose him after the Vancouver Canucks GM Brian Burke orchestrated a series of trades to get the insurances he would have to get Henrik and Daniel Sedin available with the 2nd and 3rd overall pick. Considering he was the first overall pick in the draft, Stefan was a disappointment. He spent 6 seasons with Atlanta and never scored more than 14 goals. Number 3, Rick DiPietro of the 2000 New York Islanders. DiPietro was selected after a standout U.S. team at the World Junior Championship and Boston University, where he was named MVP, the best goaltender at the Beanpot Tournament in 2000. Ultimately, over 11 seasons, 318 games later, Rick DiPietro was bought out in 2013 after signing a 15-year, $67.5 million deal in 2006. DiPietro was drafted in 2000 to replace a goaltender they drafted 3 years prior who they felt wouldn't pan out. He goes by the name of Roberto Luongo. Number 2, Nail Yakupov from 2012 Edmonton Oilers. Being the third first overall pick for the Oilers in a row, he had a pretty successful shortened season. However, after that, every season his productivity dropped, which led him to be traded and ultimately out of the league and playing in the KHL. And topping our list at number 1, Alexandre DAIGLE, 1993, selected by Ottawa Senators. Unlike some players on this list, DAIGLE was by far and away the top prospect in his draft year and was expected to be some sort of franchise cornerstone the Senators could build around after refusing several offers to move out of the top spot. He scored 247 points in 119 games with the Victoriaville in the QMJHL and signed an initial contract that paid him $12.5 million over 5 years, ushering in an era of entry-level salary caps. DAIGLE was a 51-point scorer as a rookie in a year Teemu Selanne won the Calder Trophy. But the biggest issue for Senators fans was that he never exceeded the total often that had his effort questioned. He reached 51 points once more in Ottawa and was traded to Philadelphia Flyers during the 97-98 season after scoring 74 goals and 301 games for the Senators. Later NHL stops come with the Tampa Bay Lightning, New York Rangers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and Minnesota Wild. DAIGLE's final stats include 129 goals and 327 points in 616 games. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Remember to hit that like button, leave us a comment, let us know what you want to see, what you like, what you hate, and remember, send some good vibes and please subscribe.